All right. Hello, everyone. Looks like we're live. We have the wonderful Deann Shield Maiden joining us today. How are you doing, Deann?
I'm doing good. I was happy that you called me and wanted to go on last minute. I've been wanting to
Yeah.
read on some of this stuff.
Yeah. And I was so happy to have you come on, and thank you for jumping on last minute. I Things have just been really crazy with me, and with my having my niece being home for summer vacation, and I haven't felt the best the last few days, so I was like, I didn't go on yesterday, and I wasn't feeling up to it this afternoon, but I was like, well, maybe Deanna will want to come with me and help lift me up a little bit. So thank you.
Well, I don't know how well my brain's working today because for those of you in the chat who've seen me change the time on my thumbnail, like, I don't know, 2-3 times, we're trying to plan a show Friday on my channel and today on his. And so I kept mixing up the times and having to delete it and put another one and mix. So guys, sorry out there.
So we're lucky this week. We get to work with and see Deann twice this week.
Yay!
Today we're gonna do political, and on Friday night we'll do some personals, maybe some political if anything big breaks between now and then. But thank you all so much for joining us. See, we have like 100 people watching already. Please do us a favor. Please hit that thumbs up. If you're watching, please go over to Deann's channel. If you're watching for mine, and please hit the subscribe. Um, if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're watching, please hit the subscribe button. Help me get to 8,000 subscribers. We're getting kind of close, so we'll do another giveaway once we reach that goal. So
it still says stream this to your audience on mine, so I'm not sure if I'm streaming to mine, but if I don't, it's okay. We'll just put yours on there.
Is anybody watching from Deann's channel?
Yeah, is anybody watching from my channel? Did I mess that up? Because this is new to me. Usually I just hit stream to my audience and I don't have to do all that. I just hit the button.
Right. I see you up on the top, but maybe you're not. Let me check.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. They can watch me on here then. I told everybody I was coming over here.
I see you shared the link, but it looks like it's live from my channel. So
yeah, okay. I didn't think it was. I think when I deleted it because of the time, it deleted it altogether.
Okay. Well, please go over to Deann's channel and subscribe if you haven't. If a wonderful moderator could put her link in the chat, that would be awesome. All right. So I haven't been on since Trump's been indicted, so we have a lot of big stuff going on with that. So
you called me.
I did.
Yeah, I was in bed. I thought you were lying.
Yeah.
I thought that's not nice, Kevin. That's not nice to.
I wouldn't do that to you. But I think a lot of the questions tonight are probably going to be around that. But if you have any political world event questions, go ahead and write them in the chat, all caps, a couple heart emojis, and me and Deann will get to as many questions as possible. So, all right. Let's see. I got a couple started, but.
Oh, okay.
But it's so good here to be with everybody today. So glad we were able to do this. All right. Ness has a good question here. She's saying, did Jack Smith submit the charges deliberately before Trump's birthday, or is it a coincidence? I feel like
it's coincidence. What do you think?
I think it's a coincidence, but I think it would have been great if it was actually on Trump's birthday and he's like, happy birthday, MFer, I'm coming for you. He's not playing.
No, and I heard that Jack Smith was staring a hole through him, and he had his like this, his arms like this, and looking down, and he wouldn't even look at him. Jack Smith was looking at him like, you're not intimidating me. Your threats don't intimidate me. I know you're guilty.
Right.
So yeah.
I told you guys from the beginning, Jack Smith isn't playing. He's not putting up with Trump's BS. So
it's just making him madder. It's making him dig his heels like, I'm gonna get you.
That's the pendulum. But I don't feel like. I think it was more of a coincidence.
Did Jack Smith submit the charges deliberately before Trump's birthday? Did he submit the charges? Okay. Is it just? It says no. Was it just a coincidence? It said yes, but it was a very happy coincidence.
Right. Yeah, mine's interesting because it went from like maybe to a no. If he did it, deliberately before his birthday. But so I think he got a bit of joy out of it, but I
That's
don't
what I
think
think.
that it wasn't on purpose. I don't feel like
Yeah.
Jack Smith is childish like that, although I
Mine
think
did the same thing. It went from maybe to no. So I think it was just, no, he didn't do it on purpose, but he wasn't sad about it.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, Ann. Jack Smith is 11.780 steps ahead of everyone. Yes.
Love it.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
All right.
And then him calling Biden the crime family, and they're yelling at Biden, lock him up. And they all sang happy birthday to him, and he was eating it up. And ugh.
You know, it's so crazy. You know, the Republican Party just gaslighting and, you know, diverting attention and deflecting things. You know, they want to call Biden senile and too old, and but now he's a wannabe dictator. So it's like, can you make up your mind? Is he that strategic and smart that he's a dictator, or is he old and senile? You know, you can't have it both ways. It's just changing the narrative to serve whatever purpose and to deflect. You know.
And the problem is with Trump too, he lies so much that he can't remember all his lies. So he'll say a lie and he forgets that he's on tape saying the total opposite, and it can be proven and put in court. So when he says, well, I didn't know, you know, that they were top secret, my people did that. They've got tapes of him saying, I did it, they're mine, they belong to me, I have a right to them. And what was it? He told this one guy that these are top secret and you shouldn't look too close, because if I could have declassified them when I was president, but now I'm not president. You want to see? You know,
right.
It's
crazy.
They got tapes of this, so he's going to convict his own self, with his own words, I think.
Absolutely, and that's part of the thing too. With you know, sure, he's spewing his crazy rhetoric and you know, just deflecting, but we all know that Trump is just digging the hole deeper for himself when it comes to these charges, because he's confessed to them or not denied them, but then just shifting the blame on other people. You know, he's the victim. You know,
such a victim. And then his people, he stood there. He goes, "They're not after me. They're after you. But I'm just standing in their way, and I will never move." So it's like, I am the hero.
Right.
Like the trading cards say.
You know, we're getting a lot of questions in, but you know, I want to take a look with you know, Eileen Cannon, the judge overseeing it, because I have a very funny feeling. I don't feel like she's going to preside over that case, not for very long. That's the case. Let's just throw some cards and see what the energy of this trial looks like, and then we'll get to some of your questions. Like, we have a lot of Trump indictment questions. Oh, and another hit I was getting too. I don't feel Jack Smith is done with charges in regards to the classified document case. I feel like there may be some more in the future, as well as the January 6th stuff. So just throwing it out there. That's what I was picking up.
Okay, I feel like no, she will not. I get the Three of Wands. So I get, you know, Trump and his lawyers being heartbroken over this. This also can mean his health. I think this trial is going to take a toll on his health because he's not going to get what he wants. He right now thinks, I don't know if he arranged to have her. They say it just was what do you call it? A coincidence, or that where she was, or because she started it. But yeah, he's going to be heartbroken. I get the Five of Swords in reverse, which stands for regret, humiliation. I think that they're going to, you know, they're going to regret putting her in there. He's going to be humiliated in this trial. They're going to find a peaceful resolution and compromise. I think they'll let her start the case, but they'll be pulling her out of it because I get the Empress in reverse. negligence. There's something that she does that is negligent, or she did that is negligent, and there's a lack of progress. So they are not going to do it. There's going to be, with the Four of Cups, some clarity on that they cannot have her. You know, so yeah, I absolutely think she's not going to stay, but she will start it out for some reason. They're going to pull her out, and he's going to be heartbroken.
My cards are very telling. And I'll also say, too, when they say that she was supposedly randomly picked, I don't think that that was the case.
I don't feel it either.
I feel like there's something sneaky with that. I feel, and I've said it before, I feel like there's been some transition of money to her to help Trump. And I see that, too, here. There's like some foreign money coming to her to help. I see she's got defeated energy and being backstabbed and betrayed crossing her. It's like, you know, she's got a bit of a fight coming up, and I feel like she's going to have to go. But what I think is really interesting here, too, I have the King of Swords, and to me, this is coming through as Jack Smith. He knows of some of these secret dealings, and he's going to make things very hard for her, but I see her going. There's communications and documents, I think, in the past that will be revealed and show that she's clearly a conflict of interest and that she's bought and paid for. That's what I'm feeling. I feel like that she has to go.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to ask another question, and I got Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I think the resources. There was some money or something exchanged hands, and they were hoping that it'd keep him out of prison because this is a card of delays. I think they're hoping, if nothing else, she can delay and delay and delay.
And I think that is part of her agenda, delay things till after the election. And then, if Trump got in, they couldn't go after him because he's president again. That's always been part of the plan. And that's why Trump's running. Not to say that he doesn't like the power of being president, but it's really, he's running for president to escape all the indictments and legal trouble.
Yeah.
But that won't work in state prosecution. So, all right, you guys, got a lot going on here. All right, I'll let you start off on this one, but Lynn, while I get caught up with the chat. But Lynn says, my biggest question is mistrial. All it takes is one maggot juror to hang the jury, and Cannon would love to declare a mistrial. What do you see? I don't feel that at all. I think that the evidence is so solidly put together, even if you were a Republican, there's not a reasonable doubt that, Trump did this and that it's a huge national security risk.
They have so much proof on him. They have concrete proof on him. They would not bring this to court if they did not. If Jack Smith didn't think he has him nailed, he would not be bringing this to court.
And they don't put all of the information in the indictment. So that how damning the indictment is, just imagine everything else that they haven't shared yet.
Yeah, I get there will be no mistrial.
But Trump will appeal it, I believe.
Yeah, he will appeal it, but he won't get his way. So let's see. Right now, I get the Eight of Swords. He's feeling trapped right now, and he's worried. He's scared to death of imprisonment. It says it's paralyzing fear. He doesn't maybe show it, but he's paralyzed with fear. In the past, it's because he has Seven of Swords, because they're going to find the deceit that he did, the theft, stealing those records. Spying, it can stand for spying too. So giving that information to other countries or using that information to manipulate. They're going to find this. I get the King of Swords, so I get judgment on him, and that they are going to make a head over heart decision. And even the ones that are Trump supporters that are in there, it's going to be so concrete they cannot ignore it. They're going to have to, go against their heart that, oh, I love Trump, but they're going to have to know with their head that there's just no doubt that he did these things. He's trying with the Eight of Cups to avoid, a full trial. But yeah, he's right now, he's not feeling positive about this. I feel like he could be going to be convicted. I think he's going to be convicted. He may not go to jail, but I see a conviction on something. He's got too many things. 38 now, they said.
Yeah, and it's almost like, too, I've never personally felt jail. I feel like he could drop dead, for entertainment purposes only, and not wishing that. But I feel like the stresses of everything, like, could pop, like the heart or stroke, something like heart or head related. With him is what I've always felt, and I always get that hit of like he needs to watch his health, watch the stress, watch all that anger that he has built up.
McDonald's.
Right, the McDonald's. But it's either like the health or, he has, the agents following him. So I think it would be, to put him into prison, safety would be an issue for him. But he's also such a risk for all the information that he has. I've always felt like some kind of lockdown medical facility.
Me too.
That's what I've always felt. If he doesn't croak first.
And I feel like, it'll start out there. He's gonna lose his cookies, what few he has left because of all of the stress. And I do think, I think that they have no way out except to say it's mental, and that
Right.
may be like, how when somebody, there's no way out and they try to plead insanity. But I think
that could very well be too, Deann. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said for a while, I feel like there's definitely some kind of dementia going on with Trump. I focus in on the chakras, and it just feels so hazy and so murky, like he's just so stuck in his head, and just so what's the word that's coming through? Like obsessive, compulsive, but like very much just trapped in his head, just repeating the same vile stuff over and over, like he can't get past it.
I won the election. I won the election by far, and I'll win next time again too.
It almost feels like he's a prisoner trapped in his own head.
Yes. And if this was your uncle or family member, wouldn't you be telling them to seek help? At this point, the things that comes out of his mouth? And I think if they did do a psychiatric evaluation on him, they would find him to be, I'll bet you anything, a narcissist, a sociopath, and they could use that as an insanity plea to put him in an institution rather than prison.
I agree with that 100%. All right. And this kind of goes into the next question, but will Trump run for office from prison? I don't see that. I don't see him being in prison.
Run for office? Will Trump run for office from prison? I'm getting a big no.
Yeah.
He says he will, but his voters are dwindling down. People aren't showing up to his rallies like they used to. People aren't showing up like he didn't expect them to at the indictment. He figured there'd be hellfire and all that, and that didn't happen. So I think once he goes to prison and everybody sees this proof, more people are gonna dump him. He's not gonna get people to want to vote.
He's gonna still have a solid base though of MAGA supporters.
Those MAGA.
Could literally shoot somebody live on TV and that wouldn't sway their minds. They're so delusional and brainwashed.
It's the truth, yes.
Yes. All right. Cindy or Christy Cochran says, does Trump still have any undiscovered government papers anywhere?
I think so.
Absolutely. I feel like there's still quite a bit more. And they're not all with him. I feel like there's stuff overseas.
Yeah, I think one of the, wasn't it one of his lawyers said that the other lawyer was stopping him from going, it was Bedminster, was it? That there was documents there. Remember that plane? He was taking the documents and stuff? And I know they say there's not. I haven't done a pendulum on this, but I would not be surprised with Ivana burying her in the back area when it was so heavy, that coffin, when all there was ashes in it. Makes me wonder if he didn't put anything in there.
I get in trouble for this every time because I know other readers view it differently, and I very well could be wrong, but I don't think it makes sense to bury stuff in the coffin. I've never.
But when you're a psychopath, who knows how
I
he
know,
thinks.
and I know.
That's why it's hard to
But
read.
I just got to tell you how I feel and how it's coming to me. I could be
You
wrong,
think no?
and if I'm wrong, I'll own it. But I do not feel that.
Let me see. I'll ask my
I think you got to be a little bit careful because when we start doing stuff like that, not to say that I wouldn't put it past Trump to do something crazy like that, it just gets a little conspiracy theory for me.
Yeah, I know. I've just had people asking me,
Mm-hmm.
and I said I would not put it past him. I can't say whether he has done that or not, but there's nothing I would put past him at this point.
Yeah.
But hopefully he wouldn't be that vile. But when you think he can't go lower,
What are you going to do? If you want those documents back, what? You're just going to start digging up the casket? Everybody at Bedminster can watch you just dig up to go into her coffin? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right. That wouldn't make sense because unless for the dead of night, somebody's going to notice that, especially when he's being investigated.
Right.
They
like
would
I
be
said,
watching.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I'll own that if I'm wrong. So, all right.
We'll probably never know.
Right. This is a good one. I hadn't heard too much about it, but I did vaguely come across it in the news. Thomas says, "Hi, Kevin, love your show. Thank you. Question is, was the driver of the gas tanker that crashed under the bridge on I-95 part of a plot? Did you hear about that, where there was like an explosion, like a gas tanker explosion, and it took out part of the bridge, and I guess like it's going to take them a while to get that rebuilt."
I heard something about the I-95. I didn't know how it happened. So you want to know if the driver of the gas tanker that crashed under the bridge was part of a plot? It was like a suicide plot?
No, I feel like, to cause like terror and destruction, that kind of thing. Or was it like an accident?
Was it I-95?
I'm not picking that it's part of a plot. I feel like it was an accident.
I'm getting it was an accident as well.
I'll throw a couple cards on it, but I'm not picking up that it was, a terror plot or, to cause damage or affect the infrastructure.
Were people killed from that?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't followed it too much. I did see photos of it, but.
Let me just ask again. Somebody had thought that, I think Sheila had said thinking that he may have been trying to commit suicide. Let me see.
I'm not picking that up either. Although, it's interesting that you say, because I do get that there's a lot of sadness and grieving over the loss of the man. Was there one man was killed? Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, because I feel like there's grieving over the man. But I'm not picking up anything nefarious.
I get it was an accident, and I get the Ten of Swords in reverse, which stands for surviving a disaster. So I think it could have been much worse than it was, and yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse. I got the Tower, this coming down, trauma, disaster, destruction.
Yeah.
And the Hangman, I'm not sure what that's about. It could be a sacrifice.
I mean, that could be suicide.
That's what I'm wondering with that.
Yeah.
I think it could have been worse than it was. It could have been suicide because this is a card of sacrifice too in reverse. And then I get the card of Five of Swords in reverse, which is regret. So somebody, maybe he did that and regretted it. I don't know if it was an accident, but something that the truck driver, it was a regret.
Yeah.
But it could have been much worse than it was. We survived a disaster that could have been much worse. More people could have been on the bridge. Maybe could have hit
I'm not picking up suicide, but I don't feel like it was, like a terrorist act or anything like that. Other readers can pick something different. I know somebody said that. If I can be completely honest, I got to share with what I'm feeling. I could very much be wrong, and I accept it if I'm wrong. So if we could just not comment on what other readers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
No, it wasn't you. I was referring to something that was sent in the chat. Another reader was picking up something else.
Yeah, I was just thinking out loud. And
I mean, I got to tell you how I see it. And like I said, I could be wrong. There's been plenty of times that I've disagreed with other readers that have been on the show. And that's fine.
Was it suicide? I get no. Was it an accident? I get yes.
Yeah, I
get no suicide. I get accident.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something was wrong. If it was an old truck, like somebody said in the chat, maybe it was just had some problems and the engine exploded, or I don't know.
Yeah, and it's okay, Mimi. But yeah, I just don't really care for that, because then we get into a place where, I've had instances where other people have talked bad about other readers, or that they're wrong and stuff like that. So it's not a competition. We can all see things differently. And like I said, there's been plenty of times I've been wrong, and I'll own that. I just got to share what I feel and what's coming through. So yeah,
that's all you can do.
Yep. All right, you guys. Moving on. So this is a good one.
I was just thinking that in my head, could that have been possible? But yeah, I get no too. Are they going to search Trump's other properties anytime soon?
I feel that there is more other searches coming. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel yes too.
And like I said too, I feel like there's more indictments coming for Trump. And actually, it feels like they may be coming from DC this time. I'm almost wondering if the other indictments for the classified documents comes with proof of foreign, like Trump selling or sharing the information, and them having proof with that of like the defense and nuclear information.
I don't think they're done looking yet. I think they're finding information from other people and finding other places to look. Because even his janitors and cleaning ladies and people like that are coming forward. People that he didn't think were watching that were watching.
Yeah, but I feel that there's more searches of other properties, and I think Bedminster may be one of them.
I do too.
I'm just gonna throw a card or two on it. We'll just keep it brief. But
I get there's more things at Bedminster.
Oh, absolutely.
I asked, are there more things at Bedminster? And I got Queen of Pentacles, which is a yes card. And my pendulum also picked up yes.
Yeah, there's definitely things still in the shadows. Are they going to search them, though? Yeah, I feel like they are going to find more. They're going to search more. We have the Ace of Cups, so it's going to get somebody very emotional. The Moon, so yes, there's still secrets. There's still documents in the dark. And at that point, Trump's going to just want to walk away from it all. We have the Devil, so clearly there's there's something nefarious going on, and I feel like this is coming out as they're getting closer to the like that quid pro quo, or like giving documents in exchange for money or information from Trump. So I do feel that there's going to be more searches.
I threw just a few cards. I got the Seven of Cups in reverse, so it looks like them trying to look through all different places, all the different places that they could be. They know they missed an opportunity. There's something they're not getting, the place they're not looking, and they're going to look. I see that the Nine of Cups in reverse. This is going to make him very unhappy. It's a nightmare for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nine of Swords, this is going to be an ongoing battle for a little while.
Yeah.
This is kind of his last stand, and he's going to get drained and fatigued from this, but they are still looking. And I believe they're going to find more.
I absolutely. I'm getting chills with that, so that's always validation. All right. Thank you for the question. Butterflies are free. All right. Well, this is a good one. Sweetie darling Lulu, what was Jack Smith thinking when Trump was in court? I get that he was PO'd. It's like, yeah, you want to talk about me and my family?
Yeah.
You're all talk. You're a bully, and Jack Smith is not going to back down. I feel like Jack Smith is so determined. Not even so much that I feel like he's vengeful for like him talking about his family and all that. He's really on the side of justice and getting to the truth and exposing it all. But yeah, I don't feel Jack Smith is somebody that you want as an enemy. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I feel like he was thinking, you idiot, I got you. You are not going to intimidate me or my wife or my family. If you think your intimidations are going to stop me, you're wrong. He knows he got the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, which is an action-oriented card. I'm coming forward. I'm coming after you. And there ain't nothing you can do. You can public all your public speech of saying this and that and trying to turn people, to your side. It doesn't matter what the media says. It matters what the law says. And you broke the law. He got the Page of Pentacles. This is just the beginning. You just wait and see. He knows a lot more. We're going to have some good news. And he is the Knight of Swords. He's action oriented. He is bringing in the truth. He is focused. He is brave. He is going to be our hero. He is very smart and direct and assertive. Yeah, and he's defending. He's defending the Constitution. He's defending our democracy, and not going to stop him. Just the beginning.
The Knight of Swords is how I view Jack Smith perfectly, like charging full steam ahead for what's right and telling the truth. And yeah, he's taking no prisoners. He's just going full steam ahead. I feel like Jack Smith, yeah, he was a little annoyed, a little angry with what Trump's done to the country is what I'm feeling. But I also feel like Jack Smith he knows everything, or mostly everything, and so he's just like, yeah, you want to play? You want to play with the big boys? Like, kind of like that. He was definitely sizing Trump up a little bit, and as you know, Trump wouldn't even look at him. He like cowered and looked straight ahead. So, yeah,
I'm afraid of him.
Jack Smith has so much and knows so much, So Trump, he knows that Trump's going down. We'll just say that. So he felt very confident, but also very kind of disgusted with what he's done. And I honestly think that Jack Smith just kind of views Trump as somebody that's just a deranged narcissist. He's not all there. You don't want to. Jack Smith is already several moves ahead of Trump. So I don't think he's worried at all.
I don't think so either. And I don't think we need to worry about Cannon either, although I was ticked off about it.
Yeah. Like I said, though, I don't feel like that was random. She was randomly selected. I feel like there was a man, and maybe that's somebody that decides or who randomly picks, that was part of like a scheme to put them together the first time, but also the second time.
I bet you Trump could feel that hole Jack Smith was burning through him with his eyes,
Another hit I was getting when they were reading the indictments, they were talking about, I think, a text message between that aide that's in trouble and a woman family member. And I felt like that was between him and Melania. I don't feel legal issues for Melania, but I do feel like she's definitely a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
JR just brought up her name, so it just kind of came to mind.
It's a New York, very hot day, wearing a long jacket. She looked defeated.
Yeah, because I think because she knows that they have information on her.
Yeah, she's scared.
Mm-hmm.
She knows her high society days are numbered, if not over.
Well, I don't know about that. She'll just end up leaving Trump and leaving the country and marrying probably
In
a
this
Russian
area.
oligarch.
Yeah.
So
I feel like she may leave too. She may go back.
I always kind of felt like, yeah, she's going back to Europe. I don't think I've actually felt kind of like Italy kind of vibes from it, but yeah,
Mhm.
she'll marry another wealthy person, and
Yeah.
I don't know how old Barron is, but it feels like Barron kind of moves with her too. So,
Do you feel like they'll divorce?
oh, absolutely.
I do too.
When
After
things
she makes sure she gets everything she wants to get.
before Trump runs out of money or before he croaks.
She ain't gonna stay with him if he ain't got no money.
Yeah. Cindy P says, who else will Trump bring down on his way to ruin? The whole Republican Party and the MAGAs. I've told you guys, I feel like as things really start to develop, we still have January 6th indictments to come out, and then the Congress people and the people that were planning it, indictments for them as well. And Trump will get to a certain point where the Republican Party starts to fracture and turn on him, and Trump will throw anyone and everyone under the bus and drag them down with him. So we're really going to see like the Republican Party fracture and kind of there's going to be a lot of infighting between the party. It's a circus. It's a sideshow.
Yeah, there's people in the House. The reason Lindsey Graham, I think, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and some of them are fighting so hard and crying, and it's because they know they're connected to the things that he's connected to, and if he goes down, they go down. And so they're fighting like crazy for him because they're really fighting for themselves,
They know what's coming. Midas Touch did a short clip today of Lindsey Graham on some kind of interview, and Lindsey Graham was talking about, what's really going to get Republicans all riled up is if Jack Smith indicts Trump on the January 6th stuff in D.C., because then he's coming for all of the Republicans, and we'll know that it's really politically motivated. So that right there, he's kind of already foreshadowing what's going to happen. They know their involvement in this, and they know they're not getting away with it.
Yeah, Lindsey said something like, yeah, I think so too. I think Lindsey's going down, Rudy's going down, MTG's going down, McCarthy is going to be losing that position and maybe going, I don't know if he'll go down, but he's going to be in some trouble, talk to. And I don't know who else, but those names I get, I feel pretty confident about. But I think about 7.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of all of them. I feel like 8 to 12.
You got 8 to 12?
That will actually probably have time in jail. I feel like there's probably more like 20 other people, so like 12 and a half, 24 people that are investigated. Maybe half of them get charged. But
I think
the other ones that don't get charged, it's like political ruin for them. Their political career's over.
Let me see, how many people will go to jail over this? Let me just for fun, just for entertainment purposes only, you guys. Yes, I get 7 or 8 people going to jail.
Yeah, for people in elected positions, there's more people like Rudy and people in the cabinet, those aides that are going to get jail time too. But people that will have to be replaced in their seats that were elected in, I feel like 8 to 12. But there's a lot of investigating, and like 20 of them is what I'm kind of picking up for numbers.
The more the merrier.
All right.
Make as many as he wants with him.
And I've said, and this goes into our next question, will the House flip to Democrat control before the 2024 election? And I feel like that is very possible. I'm just going to throw a couple cards.
Okay, I'll throw a couple too.
I'm not getting it super strongly, but I'm feeling like a soft yes. So I think it's going to be close. Did you ask your pendulum if they would?
Yeah, and I'm getting, let me double check it. I just want to make sure my arm's steady. Will the House flip to Democrats before the, I'm feeling it will.
Yeah.
Because I got the King of Pentacles, the yes card, prosperity, you
That's
know.
Trump's card for me too.
And then I get them being disappointed with the Five of Cups. And there's a loss in the Republican Party. Six of Swords in reverse. So much stuff happening. They're overwhelmed. They can't move forward. They've got a lot of unresolved issues. Again, the law, you know, I got the King of Swords, you know, somebody strong, intelligent, head over heart decision. Yeah, I think yes. And I feel they got the Death card at the bottom of the deck. So they're going to transition and change. So I feel like they will change.
This is really interesting what I threw for cards. Does anybody, how many seats do Democrats have and how many would they need to gain to get the majority? Because I'm feeling like there's 6 or 7 Democrats replacing Republicans before the next election. Is that enough to take the majority?
We have 10 seats or more. Supposedly, they have 10 seats or more, the Democrats or the Republicans?
Well, the Republicans are in control now.
So they have 10 seats or more, so we need...
So we would need 5, is that correct, Joan?
5, okay.
Yeah, because you have to think about it. If Republicans lose seats, then their threshold's going to go. And I told you guys before, I felt like Democrats would take the House but have like a 1 or 2 seat majority. So if I'm getting 6 or 7 here, that kind of fits with what I was picking up before, even though it wasn't exactly how I was thinking it was going to unravel. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of introspection and kind of a lot of illumination is what I just heard, because we're coming for a tower moment, I think, with the House. You know, this is my House card. So there's going to be a bit of chaos and sudden upheaval and change. But I'm getting like 6 or 7 Democrats coming in. 6 of Pentacles, and which is about like coming into balance and kind of like negotiating, and then like 7. So there's going to be a lot of them fighting. So I feel like, yes, it's very likely. It's going to be really close, though. All right. So if Republicans are at 222, Democrats are at 212. So if Democrats got 6 seats, that's 218. So that's a majority, correct?
How many seats will they get? Let's see. I'm going to ask my pendulum how many seats, just to see what it says. I'm getting between 6 or 7 seats.
Okay, interesting. Are you using your mat?
Yes.
Okay. Right on.
We'll take them.
Right, we'll take it. So it doesn't feel like it's happening this year, you guys, though. I wish it was. I'm feeling like it's going to happen early to mid next year. So, but it's better than nothing.
I'm getting next year.
Yes, Santos will be gone. I told you I felt like he'd be the first one, and I feel like a lot of stuff coming this summer, like next month with him. I'm not sure when his court date is. So, and I feel like he's going to be replaced with a Democrat.
I'm getting like late spring, early summer, maybe.
Yeah, I was feeling spring, but it felt like it could be a little further.
May.
Timing's a little hard to quite pinpoint.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of into May, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Again, entertainment purposes only. We never know, you know.
Right.
For sure. But it's kind of fun to C?
Cindy asked, can Florida possibly pick fair jurors? With Eileen Cannon on the case, I feel like she would definitely try to sabotage stuff. But like I said, I do feel like there's going to be some Republicans as jurors, but I think that the case is the evidence is so strong with all the I mean, you have to think they have lawyer conversations and recordings about things that were discussed. So I don't think that there's going to be even the slightest doubt in anybody's mind that Trump is guilty.
Well, even at Elaine Cannon? What was her? Not Cannon. Not Elaine, but E.G. Carroll. At her trial, there were 6 men and 3 women, and you would think that would have gone against her. And some of those men were Trump supporters. Yeah. But the evidence was so clear that within 3 hours they had a decision. And I think that's how it's going to be on this. The evidence is going to be so clear, even if they go in a Trump supporter, if they promise that they will be impartial, which they have to, they got to look at the evidence. And it's just going to be so much.
You could get a crazy MAGA person in there that, you know, there's no changing their mind. But I'm not worried about that, you guys. I feel like Jack Smith he has this. And like I said, I don't feel like Cannon's going to preside over the case. I don't. So.
And if Jack Smith feels something is unfair or is partial or something, he's going to speak up.
Well, right. He'll take it to the 11th Circuit Appeals Court. And I feel like he may have to do that. But like I said, I feel like secrets are coming out about how Cannon got in there. I definitely feel like there was a money exchange to pay her off. And I feel like those kind of things are being exposed before. Because her goal is really just to delay things before, take as long as possible so that, it's not going to interfere with Trump in the election. But I don't see that being successful. So, all right.
But I can see your concern, Cindy.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important, you guys. Let's try our best to stay out of the fear. I know when we watch the news, it brings down your energy levels, but that fear is just so restricting and so heavy. So just release that, set that positive intention that justice is going to be served in whatever way it's meant to, and just hold on to that. There's going to be bumps in the road, but a lot of us psychics have said that we see things aren't slowing down for Trump. It's just going to continue to build and get worse and worse and worse. And I've always felt like the documents case, that's what really gets him in trouble, along with, I don't know if it's Letitia James or if it's the IRS coming in for the fraud, the money fraud and stuff like that. But I see him like the whole Trump legacy, Trump Tower crashing down. So everything that they have is financially comes crumbling down, which I think would be even worse for Trump than spending time in jail.
Yeah.
The power and the money is all he cares about.
He's going to lose the power. He's going to lose the money. He's going to lose the praise that he desires, except for a small group of people that, who'd want their praise, really. But
oh, thank you, Kathy.
Trump Towers, I think, is going to be a thing of the past eventually.
Oh, absolutely. The Trump brand, everything associated with Trump, it's going to be like in a landfill somewhere.
People will be embarrassed that they voted for him. There will be a lot of people that don't even want to say they voted for him.
So Cindy says, are the accusations about bribery by Joe and Hunter Biden nothing burgers? Are they lies? Absolutely.
Are the accusations about Joe? I feel they're lies, but yeah, I get their lies. I felt that, but I just wanted to double check.
I don't even want to throw cards on it. I feel very strongly. I think it's so funny that the Republicans want to attack Biden and his son, but we're not putting any attention or energy into Jared Kushner getting $2 billion from the Saudis after he left president. I mean, right. I mean, that is, it's all politically motivated. is what I'm going to say. It's all politically motivated. Now, I did do a reading on Hunter, and I did feel like there may be some legal issues with money, so taxes or child support
Mm-hmm.
coming in, but I don't feel. I feel like the House is just kind of a circus and throwing stuff to see if anything will stick to damage the president and his family. That's what I feel.
How do you feel about Barr? I was just curious because he's been going on saying, I mean, he's been really cutting him down and says if even half of this is true, then Trump is toast. But
Oh
yet
yeah.
he helped him with the Mueller
Mhm.
investigation and lied for him and covered up for
Mhm.
him. So I wonder, he's just trying to cover his butt, and
Exactly.
and will he be looked into or investigated or in trouble, even though he's trying to save his reputation by going on all these shows? But he still says, I would vote for him. If he's the candidate, I will vote for him. But
Oh, did he say that?
yeah, and he said, if you're voting for Trump based on the policies,
Yeah.
then he's not going to do the policies. The only thing he's going to cause is chaos. And then they asked him, well, would you vote for him if he was the nominee? Well, yeah.
Well,
So
how
he's
does
a
that
Republican. It's like,
that makes no sense.
it makes no
I
sense.
do feel like it's him covering his own butt. I do
too.
think that I see investigations into him, but I think if it came down to it, if they needed information, Barr would squeal to
Feel that
save
too.
himself. I don't feel jail for Barr, but I do feel like heavy scrutiny and um, a lot of investigations. And I've said before too, I feel like that Mueller report is going to kind of come around and come up in the surface again. And there's more stuff I think with how he tried to change the narrative before it came out. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like to me like he's like just kind of like his career's over and people don't view him very favorably. There's like an element of shame around him.
Yeah, I think it'll come back unredacted, the Mueller report. And he never said he wasn't guilty. He was never, they didn't want witnesses in the impeachment trial. And he said he was guilty. He just couldn't indict a sitting president. But they took that as
Yeah,
I got away with it, so therefore I'm not guilty. No, you're guilty. You just got away with it.
right. Barr, you know, sure he was Trump's personal attorney and did things to benefit him. But I think when he realized what he was doing with the election fraud claims and then the energy getting into the insurrection, he knew that that was a step too far and he wasn't going to go down with the ship. So that's why he left when he did. He
Yeah,
knew
quite.
that it was going to be out of control. So
Yeah,
very kind of smart in that way where, he'll push things to a certain point, but when it's going to get him in trouble, he'll walk
back
away
off.
from it. So he would rat Trump out and I don't know if he's already cooperated or if they've asked him for any um, information, but I definitely feel like he would comply. I feel like he may have already actually. So, but no, I don't. We're getting off topic a little bit,
Yeah,
but
sorry there. I just he popped in
okay,
my head, and I just had wondered what you thought.
right. Well, he sure is making his way around the press and talking about Trump, isn't he? So,
Hmm.
but he was hiding for a while. He didn't want to be part of that. All right. Tasha says we've been on for almost an hour, but I'm okay to go on for a little bit longer if
I can go on
Deanna
a
is
little bit
happy to.
longer.
All right. Tasha says, will the state of South Dakota get a new Medicaid director because Medicaid expansion starts in South Dakota the 1st of July? I'm getting a yes. It feels like maybe it's not quite on that date. It feels like there may be a short delay with it, but I'm getting a yes.
And I got a yes too because I asked, will the state of South Dakota get a new Medicaid director?
I don't know if it would be able to be delayed, but I feel like at first it was feeling yes, but it was feeling a little bit murky with the timing of the question. But then I was getting a really strong yes with that.
Yeah, I get also will be delayed when I asked. And
Okay, interesting. So maybe it's the program's not quite ready, and so it has to be delayed by a couple weeks, or I don't know how that would work. All right. Joan says Robert Hur, who was appointed special counsel for Biden's documents, will he excuse him for any problems? Are you asking, is Biden going to get in trouble for his documents? If you're still with us, Joan?
Are they wondering if they'll excuse Biden for any problems? They were special counsel for Biden's documents? I thought Biden, whatever documents he had, he returned immediately.
He did, but there was a special counsel appointed, so it didn't look like Garland was biased. So they're still investigating it, but I feel like I don't see any problems for Biden with the documents. Republicans are going to continue to keep pushing it, or they're good with the whataboutism. What about Hillary's emails? What about Biden's documents in his garage? It's all a deflection, but I don't feel like there's any. What I'd always picked up with the documents is that Biden had some aides that weren't paying attention, and so it got packed with stuff and kind of locked, kind of put away.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. They, like you said, they had to make it look, because he gave them back immediately as soon as he found out he had them. Trump had a long time to give those back, and he refused.
And I tell you what, if Trump would have complied with the archives, or when they told him that they needed to return them, if he would have complied, he would not be in the trouble that he's in right now. They would not go after him like they did. Whether it's the kind of information that he has that is so devastating for our national security, if he would have complied, they would not have taken it this far.
Yep. They even had his lawyers say that they had everything, that everything was looked over, and he was still trying to hide them and didn't they have test trial things on, hiding them, getting rid of the documents, moving them before?
Oh, yeah. So I'm saying the evidence is so clear that Trump was obstructing justice, that he wasn't complying. And then when you go into the nature of the documents and how they're really putting our national security at risk, and then eventually, like I said, the fact that he was sharing them with our adversaries in other countries for, I don't know about money, although I feel like Jared Kushner was getting money for some information he shared, but like Russia and Saudi Arabia, it's devastating. People's lives are at risk because of that.
Yes.
So.
And he's the one who upped the charges for keeping federal documents. He thought he was doing it about Hillary, but it turned out to be, then he took them himself. I think he upped the charges to the federal charges.
Right. He did. Yeah. He was saying, he was going to change everything because of Hillary. And, he's the one that's hurting because of it. But it's really his own actions. So. This one isn't a question, but Sweetie Darling Lulu says Trump team is expecting an indictment in Georgia, according to CNN. I hadn't heard that yet. I feel like Fani Willis is coming in a little bit later. Not super long, but I was feeling like maybe August or September.
I'm getting it's going yes on August and September, so right in the middle is where it went. So
I feel big stuff, and not to say that I feel like there's going to be a lot coming out all summer, but just some months that feel like really particularly devastating for Trump. For me, that comes through is September's always felt really big, and October, but I feel August too, and even December is coming in really strongly. But like I said, this is a continual buildup, so things are going to just continue to unravel. And but I was feeling like August. Timing's a little bit hard to quite pinpoint.
yeah.
August or September, maybe next month, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to happen right now. I had heard that she was checking out the security for New York and the one that just happened in Florida, just so it feels like so that she's prepared whenever the indictments do come. But it's not too far out, and like I said, I feel more indictments coming from Jack Smith in D.C.
Angela said the Republicans and Trump are like the gang that couldn't shoot straight.
Mm-hmm. I think that the January 6th stuff, I feel, is the stuff coming out in September, October. I feel like October is what feels really strong for me. So there's a lot of stuff. Get your popcorn ready. The circus show isn't stopping anytime soon. All right. TR says, well, Walt Nauta, that is the person that is indicted with Trump, one of his aides, I think. Will he have a pretrial restrictions that prevent him from traveling with Trump? I don't think so. Although I think you're asking because the judge was saying that he shouldn't be talking to anybody or talking to him about the case. But I don't think that there'll be restrictions preventing him from being with Trump.
I asked, will there be restrictions? And I get a no.
I don't know if that's how you were wording, or that's kind of how I took it. If there would be like restrictions from him working with Trump or traveling with Trump, and I wasn't feeling that. But while we're on the topic of Walt Nauta, do we feel like he's going to flip, or is he possibly a double agent?
Okay. Is Walt Nauta going to flip on Trump? Is Walt Nauta going to flip on Trump? Is Walt Nauta going to flip on Trump? I'm getting yes.
Are you? He really doesn't want to, though.
Is he a double agent?
I'm not picking up a double agent.
I don't feel like he is. Let me double check. Will won't flip on Trump.
I'm getting a yes that he will flip eventually, but I think I almost feel like it's a little bit too late, and that Jack Smith doesn't even need him for his information because he already has it there. Because I'm getting he really does not want to right now.
I think he's going to try. I think when it gets to where it's this close to him, I think he's going to try. But like you said, Jack Smith might not.
I feel like Jack Smith just turning his head and not interested.
Yeah, too late.
Mm-hmm.
Should have come forward sooner. Shouldn't have done it in the first place.
But I do get a lot of energy. He really does not want to. I think it's going to take him really seeing the writing on the wall, because I obviously, him and Trump are really close, and I think that he's a loyal minion soldier for Trump. So unless it's there's any when things really start to get big, I think that's when he's going to try to do it. But I don't think he wants to right now.
What is that old saying? There's no honor among thieves. And
that's very true.
One will turn on another if they're a thief and a crook, a mobster.
I think Hillary said it best when she called them deplorables.
Yes, I liked what what's her name said when she said that that their dishonor something would remain. What was that Cheney said where she talked about there'll come a day when this all comes out pretty much, but your dishonor will remain. The people that stood by him.
Yeah, I remember. Not exactly what she said, but vaguely.
It's not exactly right, but it was something.
It was along the lines of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cindy says, I'm going to get caught up with the chat if you want to answer this. I think I kind of covered a little bit. But will Jack find... Go ahead.
Will Jack find evidence that Cheeto had sold info and it was said that he was judge shopping in Florida? Yeah, I can't believe he was judge. I can believe that. Will Jack find evidence that Trump sold info? He was judge shopping. Pendulum saying yes, he's going to find evidence, but let me throw a few cards on it.
Sorry, I'm a little behind on the chat. I just want to go through. So we're going to hang out for a little bit longer. Get some more questions started. I think he already. I think he already.
So. 8 of Wands, evidence coming in quickly. I think you will find out. I got him as the Knight of Wands, the hero. Jack Smith as the hero. They were disorganized. I got the 2 of Pentacles. They were disorganized about it, and chaotic. It wasn't. They didn't do. He didn't cover his tracks very well.
And that 2 of Pentacles is also overseas, over waters.
Okay.
So it could be receiving evidence from, other countries.
I got these 6 of Wands though, that there's going to be no rewards for it. He's not going to be. I mean, he may have tried to do that, but he didn't achieve it. But it was with the 5 of Swords, an abuse of power. And I got the bottom of the deck here. I pulled one. Guilty.
Yeah.
The King, guilty.
Crown upside down.
Upside down. So
I feel like he already has it. I think he's doing it in stages because he's still working on that a little bit. And just I think that all the stuff that was at Mar-a-Lago, that was all kind of solid and ready to go forward. But I do feel more indictments coming for. I don't know what the term would be, if it's treason, or I think treason you can only call it that when the U.S. is at war, but
espionage.
Yeah, something like that. Although he's already kind of has some counts under the Espionage Act. I think 31 of those charges for that. So, all right.
Thanks, Sharon. Side.
But I don't feel like he's too far off before that comes out. The thing that's hard with that is we're not gonna be able to know a lot of that stuff because it's going to be so, how can you really explain that? I mean, you can say that a foreign government had our information and it was linked back to Trump, but you can't really say what kind of information that was because the classifications are so high. So, and I think that's where it gets a little tricky with that too. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. Almost 400 people watching.
Wow.
Please do us a favor. Please hit the thumbs up and please go over to Deann's channel and subscribe. Deann Shield Maiden. If a moderator could put that in the chat, that would be awesome. You're almost at 3,000, right? So
I've got let's see, I've got 2,650 something. So I'm not sure. I think I need 300 and something people to get to my 3,000. So yes, you guys, please help me. I've been really working hard.
Help her get that goal. I'm about 300 from 8,000 subscribers. Do you do free readings when you hit 1,000?
I do. Yeah, when I get to 3,000, I'll give 3. I forget to tell people this. I'll give 3 half-hour personal readings away.
Oh, nice.
When I get to 3,000. You
guys want some giveaways? Please subscribe and please hit that notification bell. Please hit the thumbs up so it spreads us out on YouTube, so more people can see us. All of that is free and it really helps our channel. So, all right. Cindy P says, will history books ever erase Trump as a legitimate president?
Will history books ever erase Trump as a legitimate?
I'm getting a guess. It will be a while out there, but I think that this time in our history is going to just be so sad in the history, but it's really kind of a dark energy, almost like the Civil War. we're really kind of in like a bloodless civil war right now, where people are just so divided, and things are just so ugly. So it
Mhm.
feels like it's a very somber time reflecting on it in the history books. But eventually, um, this could maybe even be a decade or two out
That's what
before.
I got.
Is that
I
what you were
got
saying?
10 years. Yes, I got 10 years. I just was going to say that. And then you said a decade. Yeah, I
I
got,
feel like Trump has already passed away and gone
I
long
feel that too.
before they say that, clearly there was foreign interference, and that really swayed the election results.
Yeah, I got that it's going to be about a decade. I wish it was going to, I was hoping it would say sooner, but
Hmm.
he's going to be long gone, and then there won't be all the MAGA people. That'll be a thing of the past, and then they'll start digging into the real history and what really happened. So
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot of good changes for our country, and he's opened up our eyes to a lot of
absolutely.
stuff needs fixed.
Hmm.
Yeah, his entire presidency was a crime spree. You're right, Sharon Ann.
Well, we're not. I've already kind of answered this, but Julie says, does Jack have evidence that Trump gave classified documents to Russia and Saudi Arabia? Those are the two places I saw. Although I do feel like a little bit of like China in the mix too. But yes,
To
for
Russia.
money.
Yes, for Russia. Did he give documents away to Saudi Arabia or give information? Yes, for Saudi Arabia. I wondered about North Korea since he loved him suddenly. He was writing him love letters. Did he
Hmm.
give any information away to Kim Jong Un or in North Korea? Did he give them? I think North Korea too.
I
I
do
think that's
too.
why he suddenly fell in love with him, and he loved him. And I want people to salute me and stand at attention like they do for him. I think they had an
Hmm.
agreement.
I think the family got money from Saudi Arabia. I think Russia was, um, Trump coward. I think Trump gave Russia and classified documents. What was that, Helsinki, where
Hmm. Are you
I
listening, Russia? Remember
right,
that one time you
exactly.
said that too?
Um, I don't feel like he was paid from Russia. I feel like that was, you know, they helped him out to win the election, so it was
Hmm.
all part of the deal. Um, but a lot of it, I think, is just for like leverage and power. But I do feel like with Jared Kushner, it was with Saudi Arabia, there was money given, and
Something fishy
I
with the
said I felt he would be indicted for it, Julie.
something fishy with the golf tour too, the Saudi golf thing.
Absolutely. All
Oh,
right,
they
I'm
just
gonna.
said that. Karen just said that now they're investigating the Saudis with the LIV golf deal.
Oh, interesting. Yep.
I knew that was fishy. That was just
Hmm. I'm gonna close the list off to questions since we still have some. So, um, but like I said, me and Deann will be doing another show on Friday night. I don't know if next week, if I think Mel will be back, but with everything going on, I'll let you know if we're going to do a show together. I know that I have Susan Lynn coming on again this month.
okay.
I'm going to be on Mark um, Spirit Watchers channel later this month. I got a couple other shows kind of in the mix. So, um, will any of the Trump kids get into legal trouble? I've always, I've always felt Jared because of
Yes.
the Saudi stuff. I do feel some in jail for Don Jr. I've always felt that. I feel Ivanka flips, but I've seen her. I think she may get some house arrest
That's what
because
I
I
said.
saw an ankle bracelet. And Eric, I'm not positive, but I get a maybe with him.
I get yes on Jared going to jail. Yes on uh who else did we say? Don Jr. I
Hmm.
get the same thing. I got a little yes with Ivanka, and I feel like that's house arrest. She tells him enough to where she
Hmm.
doesn't get in jail. And it's kind of on a maybe on Eric.
Yeah, I don't feel like that one's quite set in stone. Maybe that's a bit of his free will if he decides to cooperate. Um, and so maybe he hasn't decided what he's going to do when it comes to that point. So maybe that's where the maybe comes in. And just a shout out to Joan Baker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Blessings. All right. Yeah, and I don't feel too. Yeah, I said Jared too, Angela. Yeah, and Don Jr. really doesn't feel good with for entertainment purposes only with his substance abuse issues.
He's portraying a good actor of somebody who's on substances if he isn't, though.
No, I mean, we don't want any lawsuits here. So for entertainment
No,
purposes,
I just said he could play. He'd be playing the actor, a good part.
I just get he's just continuing to spiral deeper and deeper and deeper out of control. So. All right.
We don't know though,
Are you good for a couple more? We'll
Sure.
do the rest of these quick. I think we have like 8 of them. Or no, we have 7 of them. All right. Does Jack Smith know the identity of the pretend DC January 6th bombers? I've always said, and I feel this strongly, I feel like they have a suspicion of who it is, and they're pretty sure, but I feel like the evidence is where it's always lacking a little bit to prove it without any reasonable doubt. But I think whoever they're suspecting is that I get yes, and I feel like it's a male and a female. I feel like there's 2 people involved with it.
Well, I get the 6 of Cups that they're looking back into the past, trying to figure out. They're trying the magician, using logic and skill and reason to figure it out, and creativity. But I get that I don't know. Right now, it's the sun in reverse, so it's not clear yet. The evidence, it's not clear yet. They're pessimistic if they can have enough.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where like that. I do feel that they will eventually charge somebody for it. Charge both of them. And one of them I do feel like was in Congress.
Will they charge somebody eventually?
It may be coming out. Maybe they're waiting on charging until they start focusing on dropping the indictments on the Congress people. That's what it came to me. So we'll see. But I do feel like eventually somebody will be charged for that.
There's just too many people that are willing to give information to save their butts in this.
Right.
Somebody's going to speak.
All right. This is interesting. Will Ivanka and Jared flee to the Middle East? I'm getting a no.
No, I don't think they'll be able to, because I keep getting that Jared's going to be in jail, and Ivanka is, like I said, maybe home, whatever you call that, ankle bracelet.
Yeah. I feel like they're being too closely watched because they know so much already, but there's so much going on, and it's so much deep diving. So they have there's people that are being watched very seriously. I definitely feel Jared considering it a little bit more than Ivanka fleeing to the Middle East. Like that may be some kind of deal that was set up when that exchange happened. But I don't feel like they'll be able to flee. And I said the same thing about Trump. It's like that backup plan when, there's, if things really get serious, Trump would try to flee. But I feel like they're just being too closely watched. They're not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be arrested if, they were just out of the blue going on a plane. I feel like they know their travel schedule and what they're doing. They're being very closely watched.
I got the King of Cups that they're going to be disappointed. They want to go, but they're going to be disappointed. And I got the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, which stands for them being guarded. So they're being, like you said, being watched. I take that's true. They're being watched, and this can also be setbacks because having to go to court and things like that. The Hierophant in reverse, there is secrets. They have hidden motives. They're talking about things that we don't know, but there's just it's a big burden.
It would be too burden to escape. Yeah, I agree. And I totally forgot about that. Thank you for saying that, Kathy. Sending a lot of white light of protection for all the people in the path of these severe storms. I think that there's a lot going on in the South.
Let me get my generator put in before I have any more tornadoes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah, I think it's in the South, like the Gulf South, I think.
Pray they're all safe.
You know, we're asking the most benevolent outcomes with that. Thank you, Kathy. All right. A couple more questions, you guys. Kathy says, Kevin and Deann, when do you see government seizing all of Trump's properties? I'm feeling like it's a little bit out there. I do feel the IRS coming in and taking stuff. I've always seen that.
It's not this year. I'm using my pendulum map.
And maybe towards the end of next year or 2025 is what I'm feeling.
I'm getting around August or September of next year.
Okay.
Just entertainment.
Timing was a little bit hard. I was feeling more towards the end of next year or beginning of 2025.
Well, that's the end. You know, when you're talking, I'm talking towards the end time of. So yeah, they're pretty close. We're pretty close there.
Yeah. All right. Even if Cannon delays the trial, will he be found guilty by January 6th trial before the next election? I'm feeling a yes with it. I do feel like he may. I feel like he may be charged with the classified stuff beforehand, but then he appeals it. January 6th.
I think they're going to want to do it if they can possibly do it because they could use the 14th Amendment on them that they wouldn't be able to run if he did an insurrection, and I think that's what they want to do is stop him because obviously he's a danger to the country and the democracy. So
the January 6th stuff, though, I feel like it's going to be really close because I think if he got the nomination, which they would be done with the primaries, I think in June, so like early summer, I think it would be too close to the election. It feels like it's pretty close, but I do feel he'll appeal the documents case, and that will come in before the next election. I feel like the January 6th stuff will too, but like I said, it's going to be kind of close with the timing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I'm getting is with that he's
okay. All right.
Much else.
That's interesting. We have 3 more questions, you guys. I'm not taking any more. I have a couple starts, so. Will the next generations of Trumps be rich and successful? I feel the generation now, like the kids, no. Although I feel like there may be some success around Barron or maybe his family, but it's not gonna be what it is now. I don't feel that at all.
Yeah, I get that family is always going to have 5 of Swords in reverse. There's always going to be regret, and humiliation.
Exactly. That's what it is. There's a dark cloud looming over that family named Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Barron, I feel like changed his name, actually, his last name.
I think Ivanka changed her last name to her husband's last name. She dropped Trump.
That name's not going to be much better, but.
That's because we're going to say, who's she going to marry next? She's going to have to change it again, dang it. Yeah, I get the heartbroken. The kids are heartbroken because they're going to have a lot of unhappiness because they're going to be associated with that name. And some of them may end up being the same way. There will always be family secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And confusion and hidden motives. That's how they're bred. That's how they've been taught,
Yeah. Yeah, Mimi Rose, I get what you're saying. Comey came out against Hillary 10 days before the election, and that was wrong to do.
What?
And um, I I get so mad when I see him and in the news allowing him to go on shows to promote his books. It's like, and then just the fact that he still doesn't take accountability for what he did um, to interfere with that election. I don't see um, Merrick Garland or um, I don't think that he would allow that right before an election, and I don't think he should. You know,
Yeah.
just because the other side was dirty and did that doesn't mean that that's what should have been done. So, all right. Kathy wants to know what we see for George Santos. Jail.
I feel like
Clink,
jail, but
clink, clink, clink,
yeah,
clink, clink.
jail. God, he's kind of trying to keep up with Trump with the lies. Who can be the best liar, you know? Will Santos go to jail? Yes. I feel that it's a strong yes.
And I'm feeling like July or August.
When
It
will
feels
he go
like
to
it's very
jail?
soon.
I'll use my pendulum map, see what I get here. Will it be June? It's hovering on. Okay, I'm getting August, so we're close.
Okay.
Right around the end of July, beginning of August, right in there, approximately.
Yeah, I agree, Karen. They wouldn't do that right before an election. They have to, especially when you have all the Republicans saying that they're politically motivated. They have to be very careful, and I don't think that they would want to influence the direction of an election either. They have integrity. So, well, I don't know about Chris Rave, but Merrick Garland has integrity. So I don't think that they would do that. So, they have to kind of, like I said, they have to kind of not make it seem like it's politically motivated. All right, our last question. Liz wants to know, why did Trump return the document? Why didn't Trump return the documents? Why keep them? Because he likes to have leverage
Power
and power, and he owed a lot of people favors for their help. And I also feel like part of it's like, if I can make some money off of it too, I will do that. Although, like I said, it feels more like Jared with the Saudi stuff. But
I think he had multiple reasons. I think he likes to be big, the big man, and look what I have here. You're not supposed to see these; these are classified, but I'm going to show them to you. So he's a blowhard. Plus, he loves dictators, and if he wants a Trump Tower in this country or this, he has something to leverage with. If he would go to prison and because he does not win the presidency, he thought he could hold on to these to bargain his way or blackmail his way.
that's exactly what I was just feeling as you were talking. I think the big reason was he was going to hold them if charges were coming for him. He was going to threaten to blackmail the United States and say, "I have all these documents. Wouldn't it be a shame if somehow Russia got them and then you all are nuclear, which he's already done." But that's what he was using it to negotiate, with sentencing and getting away with it. That's not going to be successful for him.
He already said he would return some of them. This was in the past. He said he would return them if they gave him the documents or the papers on Russia, the Russia hoax, as he called it. So why did he want that? Why did he want that if he was innocent and free and clear and it was a perfect phone call? Why did he want that? But he did. And he already tried to use it as leverage for that. So, yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, this was a lot of fun. Me and Deann are going to have some more fun Friday night. We'll be doing some personal readings, and if we have any big breaking news, we'll cover that probably at the beginning of the show. But Deann, if anybody would like to get a hold of you for a reading, how do they do that?
Just go to my email. It's deannshieldmaidentarot@gmail.com. And if you just go to my page, Deann Shield Maiden Tarot, it's in the description box. I have my email in the description box there.
Nancy, what deck was I using? Which one were you talking about? I don't feel like I've used them
I
in a
use
while.
more than one, so I always have a hard time when people ask what deck.
I think I was using the Arcanum deck, and this is Psychic Tarot Oracle, which I like using because it has
I have that one.
It has chakra cards in it. So I really like this one a lot. This is probably my favorite one. I think this is the Mythical Tarot, and I have the Morgan Greer. And I didn't use this tonight, but I really like it for the politics, the deck of oppositions, because they have. I don't typically read with reversals, but you have a more positive message, and then the reversals are pretty dark. So I like using those for the people that deserve them, like Trump or a lot of the Republicans that deserve getting nasty energy with the cards. I like to use it for political.
I use the reversals for the politicians for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't always use them for everything else.
It's a little dark deck, but I think it's good for politics. So I'm not sure what deck you were talking about, but those are the ones that I used tonight. If anybody would like to get a hold of me for a Reiki session or a reading, you can email me at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com, or you can text me at 440-376-4088. I have all of my information and Deann's information in the description box, so you can look under the description box of this video for all of that. I may have an opening up Friday afternoon, but I have some openings next week if anybody needs something, kind of quickly, we can get something set up for you. So anyway, it was fun hanging out with you all tonight and hanging out with Deann. We'll be back on again Friday, and sending you all out of love and blessings, and we'll see you here soon, okay?
Well, thanks for calling me and thinking of me to come on with you. I always have fun.
Of course. Have a good night, everyone.